Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout, and many of you know by now that there's been a little bit of, well, drama surrounding the Doom scene right now, and it's mostly to do with the game's soundtrack, the man who composed it, Mick Gordon, and of course the companies in control of what happens with the Doom games. In this video I'm going to go over the confusing relationship between music composer Mick Gordon, id Software, and Bethesda, for those of you who want to have an understanding of what happened, because this is a rather complicated situation, and many people probably don't want to read a 1 hour long essay on why Mick Gordon doesn't like Bethesda. This topic is also very heated, so I do want to mention that I am personally not going to pick sides with this. This is because many people will watch a YouTube video like this and let it dictate their opinion on certain topics, and with something like this I believe that many people should try and be very careful in their YouTube videos. Another thing I'd like to say, abuse towards any of the individuals involved in this drama is not condoned by me. I'd also appreciate you liking the video so this can reach more people who are interested in what's been going on. And as a final note before I begin, the topic is very complicated, so if I get anything wrong then feel free to correct me in the comment section. But with all that out of the way, let's begin talking about what happened with Mick Gordon. On the run up to the release of Doom Eternal, many people were very excited for the soundtrack of the game, from hearing the tracks that id Software had already shown at that point. The music of Doom 2016 was absolutely phenomenal, so people were expecting great things from Doom Eternal, but many were shocked to hear that there was a great deal of issues that came along with the creation of the soundtrack. Not long after the release of Doom Eternal, there was a big drama over the soundtrack that was soon put to rest by Marty Stratton in a Reddit post that explained id Software's side of things. And at that point it was all over and done with. Mick Gordon claims that after the drama in 2020, he was offered a 6-figure payment to not ever speak about the issue, to not say anything bad about executive producer Marty Stratton, to not have ownership over the work that he had done, and much more. Mick Gordon said that he wasn't going to sign for the 6 figures as the truth is more important. So now, in 2022, 2 years later, Mick Gordon has finally told his side of things properly. Mick Gordon claims that he'd been working for months with very little resources provided to him and no pay at all. He said that he didn't have everything that was necessary to create the soundtrack just a month before the release of the game, which was supposed to be November of 2019. Although things were made easier for Mick as he was given more time to work due to the game being delayed until the 20th of March 2020. He claims that much of his work was rejected by id Software, and the mood eventually turned sour. Mick Gordon claims that at the time he couldn't afford to enter a dispute with the company, as Doom Eternal was the only source of income that he had, and he was also yet to be paid at that point. Eventually, at the end of November, he was finally paid, with him claiming this is the first payment that he had received in 11 months. Now, do you remember when I said that a lot of Mick Gordon's work was rejected? Well, he also claims that after the release of the game, he found that most of the music he'd created was actually used in the game, and that he was only paid for half of the work that he did. And now that you've heard all of that, a lot of people will immediately jump to Marty Stratton being this horrible person, and id Software being this terrible company. And especially because Bethesda is involved with this, a lot of people will be very angry, because not many people like Bethesda. And it's even to the point where people are saying that Marty Stratton should be fired from id Software. And this is something that actually happens quite a lot in the video game industry, where if someone who has previously worked for or with a company has said something bad about the company, the fans immediately go into defense mode against said company. So with all of this drama happening, it was only natural for Bethesda to release its own response to the situation. Allow me to read their response out to you. The recent post by Mick Gordon both mischaracterized and misrepresented the team at id Software, the development of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton, and Chad Mossholder, with a one-sided and unjust account of irreparable professional relationship. We are aware of all the detail and history of this matter, and we unequivocally support Marty, Chad, and the team here at id Software. We reject distortion of the truth and selective presentation of incomplete facts. We stand ready with full and complete documented evidence to disclose in an appropriate venue as needed. The statements posted online have incited harassment and threats of violence against Marty, Chad, and the team here at id Software. Any threats or harassment directed toward members of our team will be met with swift and appropriate action to protect their health and safety. We remain incredibly proud of id's previous collaboration with Mick Gordon and ask that fans refrain from reaching to conclusions based on his account, and more importantly, from attacking any of the individuals mentioned on either side, including Marty, Chad, or Mick. At the moment, I don't see much point in picking sides, as on the one hand we have Mick Gordon saying something, and on the other hand we have Bethesda trying to defend against Mick's claims, and saying that they have a large amount of evidence to use if they have to. I personally am not going to pick a side at the moment, but I am going to say that I don't think Bethesda's response was as horrible as many people are saying. They are right in mentioning threats made towards members of their staff. They are also right in saying that people shouldn't reach to conclusions based off of what Mick Gordon has said. I do personally think that they should respond in proper fashion with the evidence that they claim to have, but only time will tell if that happens or not, as it's a bit of a messy situation. But what do you think of this whole thing? Let me know in the comments down below. Along with that, I'd also recommend giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel to help push the video out to more people who are interested in the topic. I also have a Discord server if you'd like to discuss this further, and I have a merch store if you'd like to support the channel even more. But other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.